Everything today is about information that moves and what that does to anything you write down. 3 parts. Which questions get better when it can go and look, and which get worse? The split is not the one people assume. Then a real brief on a question I genuinely needed answered, where I made it read me the actual pages rather than tell me what they say. And then the uncomfortable one, where I pointed the same skepticism at my own 60 scripts and counted how many of my sentences are going to go false without me touching them. First, the test for whether a question wants a lookup at all. So here's the split, and it isn't hard versus easy. On the left, questions where the answer was already true and will stay true. How compound interest works, why your code throws, what's in the file you attached. Searching those makes them worse, because you swap a stable answer for whatever a page happens to say. On the right, questions where somebody else controls the answer and can change it tomorrow. What does this cost? Who holds that office? What does this policy say today? And the tell is ownership. Nobody owns how compound interest works. Somebody owns the price, somebody owns the policy, somebody owns the version number, and they can change it on a Tuesday without telling you. When the answer has an owner, it needs a source and a date, not a memory. And this is the rule I've actually run this channel on for 16 days before I ever made a video about it. I have never once put a price or a plan limit on screen, because the moment I do, this video starts rotting and I can't edit it. If a number has an owner, it has an expiry date, and a video doesn't. So either go and look it up with a link and a date attached, or say the thing that doesn't expire and send people to check the bit that does. The third video today measures how well I actually kept to that, and it is not a flattering number. Second, a real one, and the answer genuinely surprised me. This channel is faceless. The voice you're listening to is generated. It always has been. I've said so since day one. So, do I have to declare that? I went to the 3 platforms' own policy pages and read them, rather than reading somebody's article about them, because an article about a policy is a summary of a thing that moves. TikTok, AI-generated content that contains realistic images, audio, or video. Meta, photorealistic video or realistic-sounding audio that was digitally created. Both of those name audio directly. YouTube's 3 triggers are about making a real person appear to say something, altering real footage, or generating a scene that didn't happen. And its does not need disclosure list includes cloning your own voice for a voiceover. So the same video gets different answers depending on where you post it, and the gap is audio. 2 of them name it, 1 of them doesn't. And here's the one nobody guesses. YouTube doesn't ask you to declare a synthetic voice, but it does list AI-generated music as something you must declare. There's no music on this channel, which is the only reason that line doesn't apply to me. Now, that is 3 quotes and 3 links on 1 date, and it is not legal advice. Policies move, which is the entire reason this video exists. But the practical answer is easy, because the costs aren't symmetric. Labeling costs you nothing. Not labeling, if you've read it wrong, costs you the video or the account. So label it, put the links in your description, and say the date you checked. And notice what made this answerable at all. Not that it knew the policy, but that it could go and read the actual page and hand me the sentence to check. And third, the same scanner turned round and pointed at me. 101 of them, across 26 of 60 scripts. Prices, model names, counts that were right the day I said them. Every one of those is a sentence that will quietly become false without anybody touching it. In a video, I can't edit after it's posted. But look where they are. 46 of the 48 prices and model names in the entire library are in the first 5 days. 2 in the other 11. That is not me getting more careful. It's the videos changing shape. Week 1 told you facts. Everything after week 1 showed you a measurement. And that's the difference, and I only saw it because I counted. A fact you looked up belongs to whoever can change it. A measurement you made belongs to you. 19 of 19 figures verified against the page they cite is as true in 5 years as it was on the day, because nobody outside can reach in and alter it. So if you're making anything that has to survive being read later, prefer the thing you measured to the thing you looked up. And when you must look something up, say the date out loud, like I did in the last video, so the next person knows exactly how much to trust it. One honest note on this number. My first scanner said 146. It was counting decimal points as version numbers. I tightened it, checked the top hits by hand, and it came back at 101, because a scanner that inflates its own finding is worse than no scanner at all. So here's how I actually read a sourced answer now, and it's 3 requests and 1 habit. Ask for the sentence rather than the summary, because a summary of a policy is the thing that quietly drops the exception that applies to you. I'd have missed the music line entirely. Ask for the primary page, not an article about it, Because an article is a snapshot of a moving thing, and it's usually months old. Ask for the date it was checked, and then say that date out loud in whatever you make, so the next person knows how stale it might be. And then the habit. Click one of the links. Not all of them. 1. It takes 15 seconds, and it is the difference between a sourced answer and a decorated one. Because a citation you never open is just a citation-shaped object. 3 things worth keeping. Ask who owns the answer. If somebody can change it on a Tuesday, it needs a source and a date. Get the sentence and the link, not the summary. And when you can, prefer a measurement you made to a fact you looked up, because only one of those belongs to you. And the thread through all 3 of these is a thing I did not expect to be making videos about, which is dates. Every answer has one, and almost nobody says it. The model has a training date. The page has a last updated date. My own videos have a recorded date, and 101 sentences in them are quietly counting on you not noticing how long ago that was. You cannot make information stop moving. What you can do is stamp everything. Say when you checked, link what you checked, and prefer the claims that don't need a date at all because you measured them yourself. That's not being pedantic. It's the difference between something that's true and something that was true. That's day 16. 3 shorts every day and a full cut like this each evening. Subscribe if it's useful to you.